What are you doing, Sally? Caleb entered the waiting room and saw Sally sitting all alone. Tired of exploring?
The Duchess has gone to be alone with the Duke. I am waiting here for when she will need me, Sally replied.
What a hard worker you are. I can guarantee the two of them won't be coming out of that room anytime soon. You should have some fun now that you're free. This is kind of a vacation for us. Caleb sat down in the chair to face Sally.
This is a vacation for the Duke, Duchess, and Butler. You and I still have to work. I don't want to go somewhere where the Duchess cannot find me. But you do not need to wait here. We are safe in one of the Duke's homes, and he is with her. She won't need protection now.
Unlike you and the Duchess, I have been here before, so there's nothing for me to see or entertain myself with. Besides, I enjoy talking to you because of your reactions. Why do you look so defeated right now? He picked up on her sad mood.
I was talking about my family with the Duchess for a brief moment, and I was just thinking about them. I wonder what the two of them are doing right now. Most likely working,
said Sally. Is that why you don't want to take a moment from tending to the Duchess? Do you feel guilty about being in a place like this while they are somewhere working hard? He asked, as it seemed like the most plausible reason why she was no longer excited like before.
You are far smarter than I thought you were. You're right. I can't bring myself to completely enjoy traveling with the Duchess and easily sit around like this while my parents are working hard. But don't mind me. I will cheer up quickly.
She smiled to hide her sadness. Your parents are probably happy you do not need to work as they do. As much as it is nice you think about them in a moment like this, they would want you to relax for a moment, wouldn't they?
Yes. My father would tell me to put my feet up and enjoy getting paid to be in a house like this.
Sally genuinely smiled as she imagined her father saying these words. Her father constantly apologized for how their life had become and wanted her to find time to enjoy her life instead of constantly thinking about money.
My father never wanted me to work at first because he lost everything. He wanted to be the sole one to work to fix everything.
So, how did you end up working for the Duchess? Caleb asked. He didn't know much about Sally prior to her working for Alessandra, other than the fact Edgar had personally brought her the day he collected things from the Baron's house, and her family once had a good amount of money. Sally remembered clearly what pushed her to swallow her pride and work.
We moved into my aunt's house, as my father thought we would be able to save money by not renting a place to stay. Little did my parents expect my aunt to require us to pay for her many things. I understood we should contribute while living with her, the task she gave to my mother and me while my father left for work. I realized it wasn't about us contributing. She loved the state we were in. Once, we had money like her, but now we were begging her to help us.
Sally wanted to tell Alessandra this when she asked about her family earlier, but Sally knew how kind Alessandra was and how much she would offer to help her family. Caleb was just someone who would hear her story and forget about it in a day. Sally continued.
I didn't like how she treated my mother and me, or the tasks she gave us, so I told my mother we should find work elsewhere. We would have gotten paid and been able to move into a room at least instead of depending on my aunt. My mother didn't want to do it because she felt indebted to her sister-in-law. I set out to find work, but would want to hire someone with no experience.
Sally remembered how those who entertained the idea of her working for them were simply enjoying the fact that someone who was once a proper lady with a good background was becoming a maid.
Luckily, the Barretts were desperate for workers who would accept a low wage. Baroness picked me because my background would suit Kate's maid. When my aunt found out I had found a job, and would not work for her in exchange for staying with her, her dislike towards me grew. So I started living in the Baron's home, and I rarely visited my parents to avoid my aunt's anger. She takes it out on them instead of me.
Want me to kill her? Caleb asked out of the blue. Sally blinked twice, then laughed at his joke.
No, thank you. My father wouldn't like to lose his sister. I give them money whenever I see them and set some aside to save to buy a small house for us to own. Even if it has one room and I must sleep in the dining room, I will one day buy a place for us to call home. That's my goal. So I will do my job well and not slack off, even when we are on a trip.
Caleb saw Sally in a new light after what she just told him. Would you like to move into my home?
What?
Sally replied, completely caught off guard by his offer.
I didn't tell you all of that so you could offer me a place to stay. You were supposed to do nothing because we hardly know each other. Besides, I am sure you live on the Duke's estate.
Only when we are training and he needs me nearby. I am only there because I am guarding the Duchess, but I have my own home. It is mostly empty because I am always near the Duke these days. Your parents can stay there instead of with your aunt, said Caleb.
What do you want from me? Why are you being so nice to offer something like that?
Sally asked, as people, specifically men, were only nice to her these days when they expected something in exchange because they viewed her as desperate to receive help.
You know that I am not going to sleep with you.
My God, Caleb yelled. How the hell did you reach that conclusion? He looked around to see if his voice disturbed anyone. I don't need to offer a woman a house in exchange for sex. There are plenty of... You know what? That's besides the point. I'm doing this because I consider you a friend. Your aunt sounds like a pain. And to have you enjoy yourself rather than working to save for a home. I would like to offer my empty house.
I don't want to be indebted to anyone else. Thank you, but I must decline the offer.
Sally replied. How about this? Let's say your mother takes care of the house in my absence, and I will pay her. As part of doing so, she and your father get to live there. It sounds like a sweet job offer to me. Deal? Caleb held out his hand for her to shake and seal the deal.
No.
Caleb sat back in his chair, slightly frustrated. She thought he would want something from doing a good deed for her. Why can't you just accept my offer? I don't know what type of people you encountered, but I don't want anything from this. I've even turned it into a job offer.
What happens when you and I are not on good terms? Will you still want my parents to live in your home? It won't be easy for me to have to make them pack up and leave. Even if it is a job offer, I don't want to be indebted to anyone. I'm going to work hard and own a home by myself. However, I appreciate you trying to help. Please keep this from Alessandra.
Sally begged him.
I don't want her to be concerned about it.
And the last person you should have told about it was me. Now I can't stop being concerned. Sally, just take the offer. We will have a contract that I won't ever kick them out or fire them when we argue. Trust that I am a good person.
Had I known you would have cared this much, I wouldn't have said anything. Please let it go, Caleb. My family and I will deal with our problems alone. You can honestly stop looking for someone for me to date. I have no time for it,
said Sally. What are you two doing? Alfred stopped by the waiting room to ask. He was certain the two would end up together, and one would have to be fired in the end.
Nothing, right, Caleb?
Sally looked at Caleb to ask him to let the issue go. Right, Caleb muttered. It didn't sound like nothing. The butler said lunch would be ready soon. I'll inform the Duke and Duchess shortly. said Alfred. That sounded like a bad idea to Caleb, considering the fact Edgar did not want to be disturbed. I don't think you should disturb the two of them. A little air might be in the works, and you would only halt the process. Is there a possibility for lunch to be pushed back a bit? I will have a word with the butler. I am making some tea to enjoy while the rain continues to fall. If you two want some, please come to the kitchen. Carry on with the nothing you are doing. Remember, save your fooling around for night when the Duke and Duchess won't need you. Alfred smiled, then walked off to the kitchen.
Wait, Alfred!
Sally called after him. Her face was red from the embarrassment.
We are not together. Why does he think that?
She looked to Caleb for an answer. Caleb shrugged his shoulders, not understanding why the others thought he wanted to be with Sally. Sure, she was pretty and her personality went well with him. She was funny and he enjoyed seeing her glare at him. However, he was not going to fool around with the Duchess's maid. His relationships never lasted long, and Edgar truly might kill him if the Duchess were upset by a failed relationship between the two. You will have to find that out from the butler. He stood up from his seat. Honestly, Sally, think about my offer, or I will blackmail you. Sally folded her arms.
How on earth can you blackmail me?
I will tell the Duchess. You didn't want her to know, right? Either you accept my help with no catch or debt on your end, or you have the Duchess constantly worrying you. Goodbye. He innocently smiled, leaving her alone before she could try knocking him out.
What the hell?
Sally muttered in disbelief.
Caleb!
She yelled before chasing after him. Meanwhile, is it me, or did you hear someone yell? Alessandra looked at the door where the noise came from. Do you think someone wants us? Not unless they want to be fired. Ignore them, and take it easy on the wine. Edgar took away her glass. He lost count after the 5th glass, and as much as he contemplated finding out what her limit was, she'd had enough. I hope you don't indulge yourself in alcohol and rum while I am not home. No, I only drink it when I'm eating. You left me stranded by myself once to eat dinner alone. I had 2 glasses because of it. Alessandra held up 2 fingers. Normally, I only drink juice for dinner. My mistake. He apologized. Edgar sat sideways, facing Alessandra to enjoy the sight of her letting loose with the wine in her system. She certainly wasn't drunk, which made him curious about how much wine or rum the cook used to sneak her when she used to live with her father. You did not need to apologize. You went to get rid of the rumors for me. I've just gotten so used to eating with someone rather than being all alone in my room. Edgar wrapped a damp strand of her hair around his finger. Why it amused him, he did not know. I will try not to miss the times we eat together in the future. I will leave threatening someone until after that time. Alessandra covered her mouth as she laughed. I don't know whether to take that as a joke or if you're serious, but I'm sure you must not have anything to do when we are meant to be eating together. Now you're starting to sound like a wife. Should I expect a scolding any day that I'm late? No. Expect the cold shoulder. I'd rather not waste my breath with a man like you. You can flip the situation around and make me feel like I was the one in the wrong. Edgar, I think it's time we get out of this water. She showed her hands. I don't like the way my fingers are starting to look. Is your hand the same? No, he replied after inspecting his hand. The world just loves proving you to be perfect, doesn't it? I am getting out with or without you. Alessandra stood up, but quickly realized her problem. Is there anything to dry off with? I'll drip water on the way back to our room. There should be some towels here. Edgar stood up, no longer interested in staying here if Alessandra was leaving. He exited first to find her a towel and help her out. Are you putting back on your dress? Of course. Alessandra looked at him like he was crazy. I am not bold like you to walk around with hardly any clothes on. And if I were to do that, the servants would talk about me and ruin my reputation. Edgar wrapped a towel around his waist and then helped Alessandra wrap one around her body. Instead of letting her have to get her dress wet with her damp undergarments, he lifted her into his arms after her towel was securely wrapped around her. Oh! Oh! Before you object to me carrying you, this is meant to be our honeymoon. The servants will find this perfectly normal. Okay, but I must be too heavy. There would be a big problem on my end if I cannot carry my wife. It seems I've been training all my life for this moment. Now, stay still and enjoy the feeling of your wonderful husband carrying you. Why are you smiling so much, Sally? Alessandra asked after looking in the mirror. She found Sally smiling while brushing her hair. It looked like Sally's cheeks would hurt from how hard she was smiling. Did something good happen to you while I was not around?
Everyone in this house has heard you and the Duke were alone in a room together for quite a long time. It's good the room didn't seem to let noise escape to the outside. It would have given the maid something to talk about.
Sally's smile widened. What? Alessandra did not understand a word of what Sally was saying. They think we were having sex, Edgar said as he exited their closet. Sally felt her heart drop as Edgar heard what she said. She didn't think he would hear her from inside the closet. We were not. Alessandra turned around to face Sally. Sally jumped and stepped back because of how loud Alessandra denied the claim.
I see. That's not a bad thing if you were.
But we weren't. And why is it anyone's business what we were doing while we were alone? It's nothing to gossip about. Alessandra turned around to hide her blush.
I will tell them not to talk about it,
Sally said. I won't give them anything to talk about, Alessandra muttered. Wonderful, Edgar said in a sarcastic tone. All because of the maids and Sally being nosy. It would now be harder for him to gain any form of pleasure from this trip. I should fire all of them. He seriously considered it. I'm going to leave now so that the two of you can talk about me. I will see you at lunch, Alessandra. Okay. Sally silently watched Edgar leave the room, patiently waiting for her turn to talk about him. As soon as the door closed, she said,
Did you surprise him with the basket?
Not exactly. He gave me a bigger surprise in the end. Our plan failed, Alessandra said with a hint of disappointment in her voice.
We still have a lot of time for you to try surprising him. Excuse me for being nosy, but did you and the Duke truly not do anything while you were alone? I heard that the room has an excellent pool of water. I imagine that...
Sally started to say what she thought they would have been doing, but then stopped herself. You imagine what? Sally, I'm starting to think that Aaron has started to rub off on you. Nothing happened between the two of us when we were alone. Sure, I sat on his lap. Alessandra's face became even redder when she revealed this. And things were said, but that was all.
Duchess, forgive me for saying this, but you are aware of how good-looking, well-built your husband is, right?
How can I not notice it? Alessandra muttered. Each time she looked at Edgar, she found it hard to believe she had married such a man.
But nothing happened? I am finding this odd.
Sally didn't see why Alessandra wouldn't jump at the chance to be pleasured by such a man.
Did you not think of, having sex with him while you sat on his lap? Pardon me, I should use the term making love.
Something would have happened between us, but I stopped it. I made an offer to take off my mask for Edgar by the end of this trip.
Really?
Sally exclaimed.
Okay, that is far better than the two of you not using that time to be intimate. The Duke must be ecstatic that you're taking such a big step with him. I hope you can trust me enough to do the same to me someday. I don't believe in those ridiculous rumors anymore.
Thank you. For now, I will just work on opening up and revealing my face to Edgar. My husband deserves to see what my face looks like. He's waited long enough. I can do this. Alessandra pumped herself up.
I will help you as much as I can, Duchess. We will work on this surprise to knock the Duke off his feet. As you said, he deserves it. I must say, he is more loving than I imagined him to be,
said Sally. What do you mean? Alessandra looked over her shoulder while Sally brushed her hair.
Well, he was never one to show much emotion, and when I first arrived, he scared me. I wondered how two people with such different personalities could fall in love. But day by day, I see how loving he is towards you. For example, I thought his love language was just buying you a ridiculous amount of things to please you, but then I noticed how much he enjoys touching you. I never thought he would be a needy person,
Sally explained. Now that Sally mentioned it, Alessandra realized how much Edgar had been touching her these days, whether it be how much he held her when they slept, or when he just wanted to tease her and just fool around with her hair. He had been doing it quite often. He was honest enough each time to tell her that she should enjoy his body. He was inviting her to touch him. Should I also touch him more? Alessandra accidentally spoke out loud.
You should.
Sally agreed with this.
It is always the Duke reaching out to touch you, and I've watched you walk away from him many times. If you start being the one to initiate things, he will certainly enjoy it. Start small by reaching out for his hand or rubbing your hand over his chest as he sleeps. I honestly don't think you should take advice from me, considering I have never been with a man.
No, your advice is wonderful. Alessandra stood up with a plan in mind. 1, it would help her become more confident and closer to Edgar. 2, she was going to use it to tease him just as he always did to her. I will start later on tonight. I am going to make Edgar know what it is like to be in my position.
That's not where I was going with this,
Sally replied, worried about what would happen between the couple later. She was more worried for Alessandra because Edgar would find entertainment in anything she did.